Okay, here we are starting the um, fourth week of instruction of the course. In this particular quick video, we're going to talk a little bit about chapters 7 and 8. As you know, this now means that this is the last that we'll use the textbook per se as our discussion topic. Next week, we'll be working primarily on the presentation and the major project, and then delivering that in week 6 and doing some final exams, conversation and evaluation of the course as a whole. Chapter 7 and 8 are relatively quick, about 65 pages total. So it's a quick read and an interesting read. I would love to spend more time on chapter 7 in the class discussion with you. I think this would be a fun discussion, as those of you who are Maritime Academy graduates, either of Cal Maritime or others, know that leadership is a big topic. And when we look at organization, organizational management, organizational behavior, which is what chapter 7 is all about, there's a very interesting section on leadership. And I encourage you to look at figure 716. That's on page 387 of the textbook, where it starts to talk about the attributes of leaders. I'd love to have a conversation about some of the folks that you work for, or have worked for, or have led you in any way, and talk about what attributes they had that you recognized them as leaders, whether they be through scout camp, whether they be through your parents, whether they be through your teachers, people that you're working for, people that you would love to work for, volunteer organizations, whatever it is. Leadership is a very personal thing, in to some, and to others, it's very obvious. And there's different styles of leadership, and it's all about whether or not somebody's going to follow you. So if you have good ideas and people follow you, then you're a leader. If people don't follow you, even if you have good ideas, then your leadership skills probably need a little honing up. But all of chapter 7 very interesting, just talking about the organization again, and the leadership skills. Also pay some attention to section 763, the needs of the individuals. Again, kind of management concepts. What if you want to be a leader, you have to understand people. If you want to reach them, you want to set the environment that's appropriate for your leadership. And so that section talks a little bit about the needs of the people that are on your team. What does the team look like? What do they need? What can you provide to them? What resources do they need? And it talks a little bit about some of the psychological, physiological needs of the individual that may or may not be able to be met by the organization, but in their home life and other areas of their life. So it's an interesting discussion. In many ways germane to what we're talking about as systems engineering, but in many ways more appropriate to just the wider discussion of organizations as a whole. And then chapter 8, program evaluation. We've spent some time in program evaluation and talking about evaluation, talking about feedback loops, talking about the purpose of evaluation. Again, a relatively quick read, and the key is that if I could sum up not only the chapter but the purpose, the function of evaluation. It has to be well understood why evaluations are taking place. Are they taking place in a positive manner, in which case it works, or are they taking place in a punitive manner, in which case they don't work real well? But a good positive environment evaluation process leads to a better product, a better work environment, a better relationship, and everybody benefits by a good, honest, critical, non-threatening evaluation process. an evaluation process that promotes fear, that promotes criticism, that promotes one group against another group, then may lead to people hiding information that's important to the project as a whole, and that information may need to be corrected, but may not be found because someone is afraid that they're going to be blamed. And so you have to be really careful in the evaluation process of ensuring that everybody involved in the process understands why the evaluation process is there. Everybody understands that it's for the benefit of all. Everybody understands that it's not punitive, and it's for the for the project goals, and that all benefit when it's done well. The last thing you want to do is to create an environment that just looks like somebody is watching over your shoulder to making sure you're doing something right, or to try to catch you when you're doing something wrong. That's not evaluation. That's I don't know what you call it, but it's not good leadership. It's not the style that we want to do. So that's really, it's really again a pretty simple couple of chapters. Organization. Again, when we talked about organization, chapter 7, we talked very early on in the beginning of this course, and some of you have added significantly to this discourse the difference between a project manager and a systems manager, and I think that that's also discussed to some degree in this chapter, the different roles of the individuals in an organization in systems engineering. So pay attention to those. And then address the questions that are appropriate to the project questions that are shown on the website, on the Moodle site, as appropriately as possible to either to your organization or to your project group. If there's if they should relate, don't be as concerned about addressing the questions exactly as the questions are written. Be more concerned about reworking the question so that it's appropriate conversation for you and an appropriate tool for you to use for the project that you're all working on as your teams. And with that, we're going to call this a wrap. This will be the last formal, as much as this is formal, lecture like this. We may come back in the next week or two and just to make some more final comments. I'm not sure, although we may do that by text. But I'm looking forward to this week and getting through these chapters and seeing what you found most interesting about these 2 chapters and having some conversation early on. And then again, week 5, we'll just be working with you on your projects and making sure that all your resources that you need you can find, and I can help you out in any way I can. Looking forward to that, and and then we'll deliver the projects after that. So thanks very much for your attention and for your strong effort thus far. And looking forward to a nice strong finish to the course and going from there. So thanks very much. Bye.